What would happen if men opened up and talked honestly about themselves? Would you listen? I'm Lucian Cross, and welcome to The Cross Effect.
Get ready for a new, groundbreaking talk show. The Cross Effect will take you where no other talk show has ever taken you before. The Cross Effect explores a diversity of men's issues from all social backgrounds, such as relationships, health, children, money, sex, work, and play.
Well, ideally, I think a program of this nature that women can sit down and listen to men honestly without feeling that they have to respond because they're being put on the spot. They're a viewer now. They're not a participant in a conversation or an exchange of ideas. They're just going to listen. From that, they can walk away, hopefully, with a new enlightenment towards what men might be thinking. It's never going to be concise.
Yeah, for women to know that men have feelings, that they have emotions, and that at times we'd like to express them. And I think as men we feel we can't. And that if women saw something like this and we're hearing things, you know, it's like when a woman says, you know, if you're only watching Oprah the other day, you'd understand how I feel. If we had something like that for men that women could watch without us in the room, get an understanding of what men are talking about, how they're feeling, what they're feeling, and why, and then that they can talk to, the men in their lives.
A show of this nature would teach women that don't expect these criteria. They've been taught since they were young. You need the white horse, the prince, that type of ideology.
The Cross Effect provides thought-provoking, emotional, and challenging subject matter which reflects upon how individuals are affected as a society and the impact on their relationships.
She doesn't understand. I think she understands dreams, but she doesn't really understand what really is behind a music business or taking a real risk, I think a dream to most people is like a fantasy wedding or the perfect idea of a man and stuff like that, but once you start chasing those things, like how much more is into it, so you end up risking a lot more to get your dream, so she doesn't understand that part, and then she sees me go through it, and she just doesn't know why I would do something like that to myself,
I think it's a male thing that it's the testosterone, it's the, and as society, bigger is better, the guy with the most toy wins.
The Cross Effect will not only examine fears, expectations, and pressures, it will explore the joys, strengths, and gratifications of being a man in today's world.
Work's kind of crazy. You gotta go every day, 5 days a week. You gotta pay the bills, you got school loans, you got all these bills you gotta pay. If you don't go to work, then you're gonna be behind. That's all these problems with money. You gotta worry about, retirement. You got, 401k you gotta do. If you have kids, you got to worry about their school education. You have to, save up for that, and it's just tough,
This forum, like I said, is creating a safe haven. So a man can express his circumstance without ridicule. Is always going to be helpful because you get to the truth.
If men, can open up and speak candidly about issues and the way they feel, that women can get a better understanding of, maybe it's one of those things where you can tell your best friend but you can't tell your wife.
If we want women to understand, if we really need them to understand, then we need to, as men, understand one fundamental, which is women can't hear what men don't say. So if we don't say it, they can't know it.
I think we'll help everybody. In the long run.
The Cross Effect will be the most important forum America has ever had for men who are isolated, alone, and under pressure. Together, we will bridge the gaps that have developed between men and women, men and society, and men and themselves, in the hopes of building a happier, healthier, and stronger America, one person at a time. Tune into the communication breakthrough of the 21st century, which will empower, educate, and inspire. The Cross Effect with Lucian Cross. Coming soon.
Now, were you listening?